welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're kind of going to be working on the Jeep roof rack, except not on the rack itself. I can't lift this thing by myself onto the Jeep. It's not heavy. There's no way you could reach out far enough, and it's at the end of my reach trying to put it on the Jeep with someone helping me. So I need a hoist system to lift and lower it. I used a couple of ratchet straps to remove my top this last time. That did not go well. I almost needed to buy a new back glass for the top. I caught it just in time before. Anyway, we don't want a repeat of that, so I picked up a cheap bicycle lift system from our favorite cheap tool store. Says it's good to 50 pounds. The rack is more than that. Not by much. If I had to take a guess, it's between 60 and 80 pounds, roughly. So I'm going to string it out over a few studs on the ceiling. I'm going to use timber locks to hold the 2x4 up. Then I'm going to mount the hardware from the kit to the 2x4. My big vise will be my anchor point. I don't know that I'll be able to trust the lock that it has on it. Yeah, let's get started. Temporarily put the board up so that I go and drill where the timber locks are going to be. So I have 6 3-inch screws, and then there'll be 3 6-inch long timber locks. I'm going to move this pulley over one, that way I can run my lag bolt through this plate as well. That's the difference in the hardware that they provide. Snap the head off pretty easily. Switch it out for some stuff that I had. Broke a bit, not the head of the screw. Oops. Do not use bicycle lift to support anything except a bicycle. Contemplating whether I want to use the rope they provided or the paracord. That would make for some entertaining video. Well, there it is. Seems like the paracord will still lock, and it's will hold. That's not a deal breaker for me. If it doesn't, I've got a pretty good anchor with the bench vise to hold it up. See what happens. Yeah. What can we do to change that? Ah. No, that. I got it wrong. I'll always be back in the Jeep if I didn't want to do this, so. Set back down, turn it around, see how it goes that way. The lock's working. It's almost working too good. I don't know about holding the weight for a long period of time yet. I probably would never trust it anyway. I want to put tension on this because then it unlocks it. I don't know if I like these. That's going to work just fine. Might change it up. As far as how it holds the rack. But I think that'll work, and I think it'll work for removing the top as well. Just gotta mess around with it a little bit. I'm not sure how heavy the top is. I don't think it's much heavier. Not to the point where I wouldn't be able to pull on that rope. This is not taking much effort at all to get this thing to lift up. So, I think that's a win. I'm going to let it hang out for a little while. Mess around with it. Maybe even throw some weight on it. And if it doesn't change, lift it up higher and let it sit there for a bit. If that's still good, then we'll back the Jeep in. Well, this is working great. Did not expect it to go as well as it has. I have changed out, rather than using the little hook brackets that came with it, it had a hole in that bracket, so I used a chain combiner link, and the tabs on the rack, that's what it's hanging from right now. That is much higher than it needs to be to load and unload it off of the Jeep. If I use this for removing the top, I'm thinking about just removing those hook brackets altogether and just putting in a eye bolt nuts on either side. For the top, I'm probably going to use 4 straps. That way I can adjust left and right. There's no center eyelet or attachment point for lifting the top off, so I'll have 4 straps adjustable in all 4 corners. That way you can level it out and lift it, set it. Yep, I'm happy. This thing costs $9, so what's not to be happy about? It's cheap, it was easy, and it's doing exactly what I needed it to do. So aside from removing those hook brackets and adding eyelets, the only other thing I did was I put paracord in it rather than using the nylon rope that came with it. I didn't know if the nylon rope was going to be long enough for using the vise as a secondary fail-safe. So far the lock is working perfect. Other than that, it's 2x4, some live bolts, and it's working great. Love it. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. See you next time. a little practice. Working. I don't have the rear brackets on the Jeep, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. That's easy.